Hey, what up everybody? It's your boy C Through the Script here, back with another decode. Today is March 31st, 2021, marking the 2-year anniversary of the death of the highly popular and extremely loved L.A. rapper who goes by the name of Nipsey Hussle. Before we get into the video, I just want to let y'all know what we're going to do, which is analyze the death of Nipsey using the practice of Gematria and date numerology, used in conjunction to show you the story the media will never tell you. Without further ado, let's have Nipsey tell us who he is.
What's your name, man? You new and upcoming, but you're at this summit. What's your name? Where you from?
My name Nipsey Hussle. I'm from L.A., Slauson and Crenshaw area.
Talk a little bit about yourself, man. You out here, what'd you say, Slauson, right off Crenshaw and all that, right? What, he's Egyptian?
No,
you know?
He's African.
It was never like disappeared and right off into the sunset. It was always, this is our area, this is our community. You know?
Thousands of fans of Grammy-nominated rapper and community activist Nipsey Hussle are in a state of shock today. They are mourning the hip-hop star's ultimately and violent death. Nipsey Hussle was murdered in broad daylight outside a clothing store that he owned in South Los Angeles.
Nipsey Hussle. You see that chaos right there? It broke out at a vigil to celebrate his life last night. That was in Los Angeles.
All right, so without further ado, let's get straight into the date numerology of the fateful March 31st, 2019. As you can see here below, we have prime numerology of 73 and a life lesson number of 46. Note, sacrifice equals 73 and 46. Also, the killer, Eric Holder Jr., has that gematria of 199 and 73. 199 is the 46th prime, so it's as if it's the exact same gematria to match. All right, so when it comes to the date numerology, as you guys are probably aware by now, you can add the date up with different numerical paths, as these all connect into one greater web of the story. As we could see here, one of these paths is adding up the month plus the day, so that's 3 plus 31, giving us a value of 34. The first half of Nipsey's stage name, Nipsey, equals 34, and as the headline and the news stated, he was murdered. Murder equals 34. All right, so I truly can't emphasize enough how much the date numerology tells us when it comes to these stories, way more than the media will ever tell us. That being said, being that he died on March 31st, written as 3/31 in North America, 331 is the 67th prime. Human sacrifice, blood sacrifice have that gematria of 67. Nipsey Hussle, his stage name, equals 62 in reverse full reduction, matching sacrifice equaling 62 in the same cipher. Nipsey was famously known with being associated with the neighborhood Crips, the Rolling 60s for that matter. Crip equals 62 as well. Alright, so when it comes to the date numerology, it is interchangeable, as in North America we write the day as the month/the day, but on the other side of the world they write it as the day/the month. So when you take Nipsey Hussle's death on March 31st, written as 31/3, gives us a total value of 313, which so happens to be the 65th prime number. Nipsey Hussle's last album, Victory Lap, was a total of 65 minutes. Ermias, his first name, equals 65 in our most basic cipher. We can also see that the fateful day of March 31st, 2019 had that gematria when spelled out of 44. Execution equals 44, shooting equals 44, kill equals 44, and again, he died in a shooting. So to further add relevance to the 65 code, I've noticed that there is a recent headline that came out on March 29th, 2021. So this is 2 days before the 2nd year anniversary of Nipsey Hussle's passing. And it states, Eric Holder Jr., Nipsey Hussle's alleged killer, wants reduction on his $6.5 million bail. And again, we know now that Ermias equals 65 in the English ordinal. So you can see how they play with that number even 2 years after his death. Alright, so before we get a little bit too ahead of ourselves, let's just double back a little bit and look into the day Nipsey died and also analyze his birthday and where that takes place. So as we can see here, from Nipsey's death to what would have been his 34th birthday, that's March 31st, 2019 to August 15th, 2019 is a span of 137 days. 137 is the 33rd prime number. Nipsey died at the age of 33. Notice Hussle, his second half of his stage name, also has matching gematria of 33. Alright, but you know it'd be weak if we stop there, so we really got to solidify our point and show you how that number 33 is really a focal point behind Nipsey Hussle's death. So as we can see, in light of Nipsey passing 137 days from his upcoming birthday, that's being the 33rd prime at the age of 33, note his full name, Arameas Joseph Asgadam, equals 330. Remove the 0, that's 33. To add to the ritual, he was killed on a Sunday. Sunday equals 33 in reverse full reduction. Alright, so with all these 33s in mind, we gotta wonder, who is this in tribute to and why 33? Well, as you can see on your screen here, we have the Masonic G compass in front of you. That being said, that compass has very specific measurements. The top measurement has 40-degree angle and the bottom is a 90-degree angle. When added as such, as you can see on your left and right, 90 plus 47 is 137. Remember, Nipsey died 137 days from his upcoming birthday at the age of 33. Masonry equals 33. To get to the top degree of Freemasonry, you need to be a 33rd degree Mason. So that number is very important, hence why they have it stamped all throughout this man's death. Alright, so now we got those 33s out of the way, we got to discuss where the fateful murder of Nipsey Hussle occurred, and in this case it happened in his home city of Los Angeles, California. So let's get right into it. Alright, so as you can see on your screen here, we have the gematria of Los Angeles, California equaling 118, and Hyde Park neighborhood equaling 118. Hyde Park neighborhood was where Nipsey was shot. Homicide equals 118 in our Jewish cipher, as well as death equals 118. And notice the coordinates for Los Angeles on 34 north and 118 west, and it really just couldn't be any more fitting, as he died in Los Angeles, California, 118, death equals 118, and he died before his upcoming 34th birthday on a day with 34 numerology. So they really have everything covered, but there's still more. Alright, so you know I can't leave any stone unturned, and when it comes to dissecting these stories, we gotta cover all angles, and then it comes down to his lovely lady, Lauren Lendon, who is numerically tied into this ritual undoubtedly, and allow me to show you those connections. Let's look at it. Alright, so as you can see on your screen here, we have Lauren Lendon to the left, Nipsey to the right. From Nipsey's death to Lauren Lendon's 35th birthday, so that's March 31st, 2019 to December 5th, 2019 is a span of 250 days. And again, with numerology, we remove the zeros, leaving us with 25. Where is that relevant? Death equals 25. Her last name, Lendon, equals 25. She turned the perfect age for her rap boyfriend to pass away, as rap equals 35. You can see how the numerical connection is starting to line up. And in terms of lining up, let's take a look at this very interesting connection. When you take Lauren's full name, which is Lauren Nicole Lendon, in full reduction has gematria of 86. Blood sacrifice equals 86. Human sacrifice equals 86. All right, moving on from Miss Lauren Lendon, we got to take a look at the killer being Eric Holder. Eric Holder, the man who shot Nipsey to death, has that gematria of 97 in English ordinal, matching the word death. Death equals 97 in reverse ordinal. Eric Holder also has that gematria of 56, a very special number. Never forget when Eric was given a high-profile lawyer, despite being virtually unknown prior to killing Nipsey. Society of Jesus equals 56. So you got to think, who gave him that lawyer? Well, speaking of the lawyer goes by the name of Christopher Darden, and he's well known for working on the O.J. Simpson trials. So that being said, something very interesting that I noticed while looking into him is he has that 4/7 birthday being April 7th, which so happens to be the 97th day of the year. That matches Eric Holder's name in English ordinal being 97. But what's also very interesting is that Nipsey's first name, Arameas, has that gematria of 97 in reverse ordinal. So you can see that they have the right lawyer for the right alleged killer for the right victim, being Nipsey. All right, so when it comes to Nipsey Hussle, obviously what we know this man for is music. Music was his thing. He definitely has some good tunes. I definitely rock with them. So his last album that he put out prior to his death was titled Victory Lap. It was released on February 16th, 2018. That so happens to be the 47th day of the year. His clothing label, the Marathon Clothing, when spelled out, has that gematria of 211 in English ordinal. 211 is the 47th prime. So everything's connected from start to finish, as you could see while we go through this analysis. All right, so what's crazy was on March 31st, 2019, Nipsey put out a tweet. The tweet read, "Having strong enemies is a blessing." And again, that tweet was circulating all over the media. People were questioning why he put it out, what it meant. And I mean, with the power of Gematria, you can truly see. Will the media tell you no? Will I tell you? Hell yeah. So let's get into it. So as you can see, that tweet was done on March 31st. 3 plus 31 equals 34. As we saw earlier, Nipsey equals 34. Murder equals 34. Well, his tweet, "Having strong enemies is a blessing," equals 340. In numerology, you remove the 0, leaving us with 34. Isn't it strange his last tweet ever would be about his enemy, metaphorically speaking, only to die at the hands of a man whose name numerically matches said tweet? Look again. Having strong enemies is a blessing. In reversible reduction equals 173. Who does that match? His killer, Eric Holder. All right, so when it comes down to these rituals, you know there's going to be fingerprints left behind, but you got to ask and you got to wonder whose fingerprints. Well, I'm here to tell you and prove to you that it's none other than the Society of Jesus. Society of Jesus finds August 15th as a very important day, as it was the day that they were founded, as you can see to the right. Well, under that, you could see that Nipsey Hussle was born on August 15th, so he already has that birth connection there. But as we can see below, we have the Jesuits' motto, which is Ad Merum de Gloriam. Sorry if I mispronounce that, but that translates to "for the greater glory of God." And when you spell that out, that equals 340. And as you can see, that 340 has been relevant earlier throughout this presentation, but as a reminder, again, Nipsey died on a day with 34 numerology. 3 plus 31 equals 34. Nipsey equals 34, murder equals 34. But to your left, you can see that there is a further Jesuit connection with his name, as his surname, Asgadam, equals 72 and 144, matching Jesuit order, 144 and 72. So again, that Jesuit connection is definitely riddled throughout this man's life.
Okay, well, Nipsey Hussle, that's named after Nipsey Russell, the comedian.
Correct.
All right, so there you have it. From Nipsey Hussle's mouth, he states that his name does derive from the legendary comedian who goes by the name of Nipsey Hussle. And when it comes to these rituals, the Jesuits love to pay tribute to history and recreate history through other people's deaths. In this case, Nipsey Hussle was recreation of Nipsey Russell's death. So allow me to show you the numerical connection with this. So Nipsey Hussle, the comedian, passed away on October 2nd, 2005. And Nipsey Hussle, the rapper, died on March 31st, 2019. So when you calculate October 2nd, 2005 to March 31st, 2019 is a span of 704 weeks on the dot. Notice below, rapper equals 74, Jesus equals 74, cross equals 74. Remember, it's the Society of Jesus. Jesus was hung up on a cross. Think about all these rappers wearing Jesus pieces, always doing tributes to Jesus throughout their raps. And then below that, you could see that what you're witnessing is truly nothing more than simple English gematria. All of those words have that matching gematria of 74 in the English ordinal, which is our most basic cipher. And lastly, to your left, you could see the day Nipsey Hussle died was October 2nd, the 275th day of the year, leaving 90 days left in the year. Note the day Nipsey Hussle died was March 31st, the 90th day of the year, leaving 275 days. Nipsey Hussle, Nipsey Hussle. So you see how they really love to recreate history with these deaths. But honestly, y'all, that's all I got for you guys. We have finished the presentation. I really appreciate everybody who stuck around to the end. And I do want to close it off with a little piece of Nipsey Hussle kind of speaking his mind. I think that's the perfect way to end this clip off. Hopefully you guys learned something throughout this video, and hopefully I have more to come for you guys. Anyways, if you did enjoy it, drop a comment, drop a like, and subscribe. It's your boy Script. I'm out of here.
And somebody in your neighborhood coming from where you at, What message do you give so people can maybe see things in a different light?
I mean, I feel like, you know, we got a common enemy, you know what I'm saying? So I don't feel we got time to be beefing. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. That's divide and conquer, you know what I'm saying? That's Willie Lynch, you know what I mean? We got a common enemy in these capitalists that's taking control of our assets and colonizing what we doing. As far as rap music, as far as our continent we came from, our culture and all that, like, we got a common enemy, so we ain't got time to have issues amongst ourselves. The same as well as a black on black.